David traced the intricate patterns of the marble floor, his movements a quiet testament to years of dedication. In the cavernous expanse of the Sterling mansion, a place so vast it seemed to hold its own silence, he was a solitary figure of diligence. Each sweep of his cloth across the gleaming mahogany and every careful adjustment of a priceless artifact was performed with a meticulous grace that went far beyond mere duty. For 2 decades, this opulent world was his workplace, its grandeur a familiar backdrop to his humble, unwavering routine. He worked not for recognition, but from a deep-seated principle of doing things right, his patience a silent rhythm against the ticking of grandfather clocks that marked another man's time. From a brocaded armchair in the far corner of the library, Mr. Sterling watched. He was an elderly billionaire, a man who had built an empire but now lived in the quiet solitude of his own creation. His gaze often followed David, not with the eye of an employer, but with a contemplative expression, as if he were studying a rare and valuable work of art. In David's quiet consistency, the old man saw a quality he had long found missing in the world of high-stakes business, an integrity that sought no reward. Later, in a sterile, wood-paneled office downtown, a lawyer adjusted his spectacles and unsealed a thick envelope. The air was heavy with the unspoken expectations of distant relatives, but the will held a secret known only to the man who had just passed. The lawyer cleared his throat, his voice echoing slightly in the grand room. He read through a list of minor bequests before pausing dramatically. And the remainder of the Sterling estate, including all properties, assets, and controlling interest in Sterling Industries, he announced, looking up from the document, is bequeathed in its entirety to Mr. David Chen. For a moment, David's mind went blank. The words were just sounds, disconnected from reality. Then a wave of shock washed over him, his heart pounding against his ribs. The room seemed to tilt, the faces of the stunned relatives blurring into a collage of disbelief. He, the housekeeper, was now the sole heir to a billion-dollar fortune. The transformation was swift, a montage of a life remade. The simple gray uniform was replaced by a suit of bespoke navy wool, tailored to fit a man now shouldering an empire. The calloused hands that once polished silver now signed documents that would shape the future of thousands. He walked through the familiar halls of the mansion, not as a servant, but as its master, his expression a mixture of awe and determination. David Chen was no longer just a housekeeper. He was a legacy, stepping confidently into a new life, ready to honor the trust a silent old man had placed in him.